So a very common question I get from a lot of my students, especially when they're in their 40s, 50s, sometimes even 60s, is they want to know, are they too old to get started in the TV, film, music licensing business? And the answer to that is absolutely not. Music libraries do not care how old you are when you submit tracks to them. It makes no difference whether or not they're going to sign you, whether or not you're in the appropriate age level for them, right? You're not being sold as an artist to the mass, to the mass media or to the public. So it doesn't matter if you're not the young, cute, hot thing you used to be, 40 years ago. That doesn't matter. All they're going to need to know is this music great? Is this music serving our needs? Does it sound modern and relevant to what we're doing in TV and film right now? So I would say the bigger challenge, not so much as your age, if you're one of those older musicians or producers that's wanting to get into this business a little bit later in life, your challenge is not your age. The challenge you might be facing is just making sure you update your ears, really, and making sure the music you're making is not the stuff you were making 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that. So the easiest way to deal with that is just update your sound library, right? So get new sounds, get new plugins, get new amplifiers or keyboards, whatever you need to do to just update the sound that you're making, because you might have gotten really great at making, let's say, whatever 80s or 90s rock music, but 80s and 90s rock music today is not as relevant as it once was. There might be some occasional uses for it in TV and film, but these days you have to keep up with the modern times and have a rock track that sounds like the rock that's being played on the radio today. So that might be your biggest challenge, is just making sure you sound like a young producer, sound like a relevant younger guy who's just getting his career started. But it honestly does not matter. In fact, in many ways, my older students do better in this business just because through life experience, they've sort of realized that working hard, sticking to something, they've seen how that works out in their life. And so a lot of times they do better than younger students, because younger students haven't had that life experience yet. So they might be a little bit more impatient and want that success right away. But, my older students, they're a little bit more able to stick with this business long enough to start seeing big royalties coming through the door. So that hopefully answers the question why I don't think there is any age limit to getting started in this business. If you want to learn more about the TV, film, music licensing business, then click this video right here and you'll be sent a free crash course which will teach you everything you need to know to get started today.